Hey guys, it's Cindy. Welcome back to another blind community chat. This is kind of an impromptu one. I did not send out any notifications prior to this evening. I'm like, hey, why don't we do a little chat this evening before I hit the hay? So make sure your notifications are turned on in the future so that you can catch any instant notifications to participate in these live community chats. But this one has been on my heart for many years, actually, since the beginning of my channel in January of 2020. But I just haven't really had the guts to go there. And I've probably filmed this exact video probably 4 or 5 times over the last year, and I just keep deleting it and not uploading it because I don't want to come off like I am overly negative or critical. I don't want, this is not about hating Molly Burke. I'm not here to tear the girl down. I'm not here to just disrespect her in any way. In fact, as a fellow blind woman, I do respect Molly Burke as a person. I think she's a typical, well, she's not typical. That's kind of part of tonight's discussion. But I think that she's got her own journey and struggles just like the rest of us do. And so, however, this discussion tonight, though, I just think it is still important to have these conversations to discuss when one person has the massive success that she has had. How does that impact the rest of us? How does that influence our experiences in the blind community? So I would love to hear you guys and your all's inputs, whether it's in the live chat this evening, which I hope to get to a little bit later. I want to first address 3 or 4 points that I have in my mind, and then I want to hear what your all's feedback is. And you're also welcome to put them in the comment section down below, y'all, because the comment section is still an awesome way to see what the community is saying and how we are all weighing in on this topic. Just please be respectful and know that this is nothing personal against Molly Burke, you guys. I want to make that as clear as I can because I don't want this to come off the wrong way. But these conversations still need to be had, but just in a very tactful, graceful way. So that's what this evening's going to be on. It is the impact of Molly Burke's success on the blind community. If you are joining me though tonight, guys, welcome. Let me know in the live chat if you are joining me this evening, and I really would like to hear your thoughts. Do you watch Molly Burke's videos, and how long have you been watching them? And what do you think overall? What's your experience so far? And have you had any direct impact in your life because of her success and how well known she is? Because let's face it, y'all, I mean, the girl is massive. I mean, I have no idea if I am even in frame, y'all. Let me check. Okay. And yes, I think I am. I'm going to get real close. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, I think I am. So, back to Molly Burke, just recap in case some of you guys aren't as familiar with Molly Burke. She has been on YouTube for a very, very long time. I don't want to say very long time because, y'all, she's a baby. I mean, gosh, she pretty much, it's almost like she grew up on YouTube because if you watch some of her earlier videos, she looks so young. I don't know, maybe it's just me and I feel old right now, but she's been on YouTube for many years. And I definitely think there's been other blind YouTubers on before her, but really she's the only one that's been able to break from the pack and really, really become a huge brand, a huge influence and content creator across multiple platforms. And it's her career. It's how she pays the bills. It's how she pays the bills for some of the family members and friends. And I mean, like, she's sharing the love and she's willing to employ and able to employ other people now because of it. And hey, that's great. I do not want to begrudge her any success whatsoever. Um, because she's put the work in. Okay. And I mean, you can get this stuff. Being a content creator is not easy by any means. I have truly learned just how difficult and how much of a hustle and grind it is to get your content even suggested or even I mean, just to even be a blip on the algorithm's radar. It is hard work, y'all, and it's not easy. And so she's put in the work, y'all, and she's generally overall, I think, very well spoken. I think that her heart overall, especially in the beginning years, her heart is in the right place as far as the content goes that is still public on YouTube. I think that, she has, I don't know, there are moments and vibes that I get that I'm like, did she exaggerate that story? I don't know. Who's to say? But there's times when I just don't quite get that authentic, genuine vibe that, yeah, I feel like, oh, okay, is that a shock factor there? Is she just, because at the end of the day, like, she's trying to be an entertainer too, right? I mean, she's trying to keep us engaged, keep, people watching the video because that's the only way people are ever going to receive the message, right? I mean, it's almost like you got to take your message, take your gold nugget and wrap it up in some deliciousness that everybody just wants to, it's like a train wreck. Everyone wants to slow down and watch it. And so sometimes I do get that vibe from her, and I wonder if everything is true and authentic. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? For me, in my personal opinion, it doesn't matter because here is what my first impact of Molly Burke's success on me personally as a blind woman in the community. I have to give credit where it's due. She has done so much in advocacy for the blind community and, raising awareness for our concerns, our needs, our issues, discriminations, all of that stuff. She's tackled a lot of those different topics, and she's pretty much got a video out there on everything almost. And but she's really broken the mold in a lot of ways of that old traditional thinking of what blindness is supposed to look like. And I feel like she's also addressed a lot of misconceptions. But sorry, I just got a notification, so I'm listening to my voiceover. If I get quiet like that and I look like I'm spacing out, it's because I have in my headset, I have a headset on right now for those my blind listeners. I have a headset on and it is playing messages to me from time to time just so that I'm aware if anyone sends me any Instagram messages or Twitter messages. So, real quick, I'm going to plug that right now. If anybody wants to join me live on this chat right now, send me a message and I will send you the link and invite you into the stream this evening. I'm probably only going to go for about 30, 45 minutes. So, make sure y'all send me those messages real quick. All right. But back to what I was saying, I think that she has done a lot of advocacy. She has raised a lot of awareness. And so, with someone who has millions of subs just here on YouTube alone, that's not even addressing her other platforms. I mean, she has a huge reach overall, and I think that she's really been able to get in front of a lot of people and clear up a lot of misconceptions and get these messages out there in a way that if she had not received this success, I'm not sure if the general everyday average public out there would have, I think it would take a bit of them proactively digging for the answers instead of YouTube like suggesting on millions of people's feeds, like, hey, here's a blind girl, watch what she's got to say about blindness or whatever. I mean, so much of it is honestly the algorithms of social media pushing content in front of people. And that's where people get the exposure and the influence. And so, anyway, that is my spiel. So, number one for me, I'm going to start off with a positive impact. That, yes, I do feel like overall, generally, more people have had exposure to our messages, our overall issues, discriminations, misconceptions, and things like that, simply because she's made such a huge splash on social media that her content is being suggested and is being put in front of people who may otherwise just not know they should search for it in the first place, or how to seek that education just on their own spontaneously. So that's my first point. My second point, I don't, like I said, I don't want to be over negative, but hey, let's be real, let's be honest. This is one of the impacts for me that I have a huge issue with, y'all. I think no one person is enough to represent a community or body of people that that is truly authentic. I think it's a little bit of a disservice to our community to have just one person out there who is able to be seen and is able to express their experiences and opinions on blindness. I feel like it comes out one-sided and just not a true representation of our community. With that being said, that I mean, and because of that, let me just go one step further with this. I mentioned the algorithms on social media earlier. When one person like this is able to break away and gains major success, they become what's called the authority on those type of keywords, tag words, things that people search for, yada yada yada. If it has anything to do with blindness, disability, whatever, all the stuff that she posts her content on, she gets the views, she gets the watch time, and because of that, the algorithm is going to always push her content over anyone else. Over, it doesn't matter how brilliant we are, it doesn't matter how articulate we are, or whatever, it doesn't matter. She has really like just made a huge splash that the algorithm is always going to suggest her content first. And so it creates a shadow almost. It's like, okay, how are the rest of us ever going to break away? That is why I feel like it is so important for everybody to support and subscribe and watch all as many people that you enjoy and relate to that is in the blind community other than Molly Burke. I always try to tell everyone that tries to talk to me about Molly Burke, which I do get sighted people all the time, say, oh, do you know Molly Burke, whatever, which I have a story about that, y'all. Stay with me because I have an interesting story about this that I'm going to touch on later. And it's an interesting one, so stick with me. But people will ask me, about Molly Burke and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, it is so hard to break out of her shadow. And I always want to tell them, hey, yeah, I've heard of Molly Burke, but do you know any other blind YouTubers? Because there's hundreds of us actually, across social media producing content on similar topics and weighing in with our own perspectives. And, if you find her content interesting, you might find some of theirs as well. And I always try to educate everybody that, like, hey, if you find something of Molly Burke's that's interesting, make sure you search for follow-up videos so that you get a true representation, you get a true holistic view of it, and not just one-sided. Do I agree with a lot of things that Molly Burke says? Absolutely. Do I disagree with some of the things she says? Absolutely. Let's be honest. That's human nature, right? No one's going to agree and disagree with it. I mean, no one's going to be perfect enough that we're all just going to agree with everything. And so I feel like because of that, again, back to my first point, no one person is enough to represent a community of people. You need more representation. We need more blind YouTubers, more blind, people tweeting and on Instagram and Facebook and such, getting important issues, important content, raising awareness out there, and making a big enough splash so that these algorithms are picking up other content creators, other channels, and recognizing them as the authority every bit as much as Molly Burke. So that way, hopefully, guys, for example, Lucy Edwards, she's another girl that, I mean, her channel has really started to explode, and I hope and pray that she can go the distance. I hope she makes it. She puts out shorts all the time, y'all. Lucy Edwards, and I love to listen to her accent sometimes. She's like, this is how a blind girl does blah blah blah. Blah. It's always so funny. I always like to tune in to her and support her. And I try to support as many of you guys. If I have any of my blind community friends here in the chat, I do my best to support everybody as much as I can. But I'm a mom at the end of the day, and I'm trying to produce, put forth my content too. So I only have a finite amount of time to to do that. But I just want everybody to know I do my best to watch. I don't always have time to comment, but I am doing my best to support the community in these ways by hitting the like button. So guys, boop, hit that like button for me, the thumbs up, and all of those things the algorithm picks up and it helps us all. So my point here, guys, is if anyone is ever going to break out of that shadow of Molly Burke and get picked up by the algorithm and the algorithm start to push their content every bit as much as hers, we've got to really start encouraging other people to check our channels out. Hey, have you seen, for example, Joy Who? She did a really awesome video on this topic, very similar. I think what was it? It was like, how Molly Burke doesn't represent her as a blind individual, something like that. And y'all, Joy Who, she hit it out of the park. She made some excellent points. It's been a long time, 6 months or so since I've seen the video. I think she posted it sometime last year, but I'm like, it's got like massive views. I mean, it got like, I don't know, 10K or more, I can't remember, views. And I'm like, yes, because that is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. She is someone else that's being seen by the general public, hopefully, and bringing a new perspective. If I can talk, y'all, it's late, can't help it. But she's bringing forth, her voice from the other side of the Molly Burke fence, if you will. And that's what we need more of, in my opinion. So that's the second thing as far as her impact, the impact of her success on the blind community. It's just so hard for the rest of us to get around the algorithm and to get around her success, to be recognized, and for the general public to see more representation in our community. So before I jump into point number 3 for me, and it's just a recent story. I'm gonna kind of go into a little bit of a story time, but before I get into my third point and share a story that was very recent, an experience that I did not appreciate, I'm going to check into the chat box. So guys, if you're joining me, I'm not sure who's in here or not, but if you are, let me know. Weigh in. Tell me, what are your thoughts on Molly Burke? I mean, do you care? Do you watch? Do you love her? Do you just not relate to her? That's something I'm going to touch on here in point number 4. So let's see what y'all have to say. Start typing, or I dictate all the time, which is why my messages typically come out a bit wonky because um, I'm dictating and it always like dictates, I don't know, fess instead of mess or something like that. It's weird. All right, so let's see who's in the chat, y'all. Say hello. Tell me what's up. All right, I have, let's see. Oh my gosh, my blind mama's messy kitchen. Girl, I am such a fan of yours. I have not seen you in here before, but welcome. Big supporter. Y'all, she's been on YouTube for a while too, and she's inspired me to actually do a lot of cooking in the kitchen. Um, and oh my gosh, you did a pie or something one time, and I have been wanting to do it so much for so long, and I still haven't gotten the guts to do it because I hate cooking, so I'm always going to procrastinate, but it's on my bucket list. All right, then. So she says, "Hey there." Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to turn my voiceover on so I can see it because I'm still struggling to read, y'all. Hold on. 11:04 p.m. Teresa Carroll. Hello, voiceover on. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Just a second. I'm sorry. Voiceover on. There we go. Video player. Landscape. 11:04 p.m. Teresa Guerrero. Hello, I do watch Molly Berks videos. They sound very interesting and very motivating. Teresa. Okay. Yes, so she watches Molly Burke's videos. She says they're interesting. She does enjoy them. So, okay, she's a fan. I too am a fan. I just think that, well, I've already talked about what I think about it, but let's keep going. 11:05 p.m. I really love Molly Burke. Okay, good. Let's see. So another fan. Hi, Eric. How are you? Tell me, are you a fan? Do you know Molly Burke? Do you watch Molly Burke? Or do you feel like any her massive success has impacted you guys in the blind community at all? 11:14 p.m. My blind mama's messy kitchen. Hi there. The algorithms really confuse me sometimes. I hope everyone is doing well this evening. Yes, the algorithms are confusing, and it's just like, gosh, it's just how hard is it if it's clear you post on this type of content, you're in this type of niche. It's so funny, unless you search for more videos in that niche, the algorithm doesn't even suggest other blind YouTubers to me in my feed. It's so funny. It's like I have to literally search for it. So it's like the algorithm itself is terrible at even connecting our community together. Like, oh, this channel produces content on blindness. Well, so do these 20 channels. Let me put some of their videos in this person's feed. It's like there's no connect there unless you physically search and stumble upon someone's video and watch it, then it starts showing up in your feed. But here's the thing. How many blind YouTubers probably post on the same content, the same topic, similar title, similar keywords, but you put it in the search and only half of them even get recognized, even get featured on that search, that first couple of search pages. I mean, it's like, come on. I don't know, that algorithm, y'all, it's just they've got as far as I'm concerned, a lot of work to do in perfecting it and connecting communities and what people are interested in. All right, let's see. 11:14 p.m. Teresa Guerrero. Hello, I am wondering, do you know Joy Ross? She's also a blind YouTuber? Yes, I do know Joy Ross. I was watching her there for a while. It seemed like her content slowed down just a bit, but one of the things I loved the most about Joy Ross was she was really good about showing the discrimination that she experienced as a guide dog user and with shared rides like Lyft and Uber. She did some great videos on that. And of course, her makeup. I absolutely her makeup, man, she's just like got it going on. I mean, considering she's completely blind, I mean, she has literally two fake glass eyes. And if so, Joy Ross is she's definitely an OG too. She's been on here for a long time, has had major success, and has also done a lot of great work in advocacy and things like that. But the thing is she doesn't I don't think she uploads nearly as much as she used to, or at least, I don't know. For some reason, the algorithm, like I said earlier, it's not like it's not showing up on my feeds any. And it's funny, I used to be subscribed to her, but now that I think about it, you're right. I haven't even seen her in my subscriptions feed. For like a long time. So I need to go make sure, like, I don't know if you all knew this, but right now YouTube is actually experiencing a lot of glitches. So make sure that the channels that you love and subscribe to are still channels that are showing up under your subscriptions, because some people have like there's been a weird glitch in numbers, and people like being lost in the like the in subscriptions and things. I don't know completely what all's going on, but yes, to answer your question in a long way, I used to watch Joy Ross. I just haven't in a long time, and I thought it was because she wasn't producing content anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if I am, so that I can go catch up on clearly months and months and months of things I've been missing.
11:17 p.m. Eric Colonies. Message retracted. Actions available. 11:18 p.m. Pikachu. Another reason I feel Molly stays on top with the algorithms is because she also does non-related blind stuff. Like fashion, and fashion is a really big thing on YouTube.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
11:18 p.m. Pikachu.
Pikachu. I can't. How do you say your name? I can't. I don't know, because I know my voice reader is going to like butcher everything. You know, y'all know how screen readers do. But yes, I think you're partially right. We are a minority, right? There's not a lot of people that's out there every day. What do blind people think about this? Or what? I mean, no one searches for that. You're totally right in that the one of the reasons why she gained some success is that she is doing non-blindness related content. And that's really the only way that you are going to reach a larger audience and population. You're totally correct. And if that were my goal, like if that were anyone's goal to kind of like follow her, I guess, strategy for success and branding and all of that jazz, I would definitely suggest doing non-blindness related things. And she's also even broadened it out to just disability issues in general for those, individuals of the disabled community. And that even reaches more people. So yes, by broadening out your circle, it's almost like the blind community is too niched down, and there's not enough people searching for that content for our channels to really grow that much. So yes, if that were an ambition of mine, I would do some non-related blindness content, but I'm not out here to be the next Molly Burke, y'all. I'm a mom and I am just a country girl. And this is a hobby of mine. This is a passion of mine. I just want to help people, but I'm not here to make a career out of it. It'd be great if I made a little $5 here and there someday. I don't know, just to pay for equipment maybe. But yeah, my ambition is not there. So if any of you guys someday may be watching this on the replay, if that is you, I would recommend doing content outside of the blindness community, because that is going to reach more people. All right.
11:18 p.m. Pikachu. Another reason I feel Molly stays on top with the algorithms. 11:20 p.m.
Oh.
11:20 p.m. Pikachu. Without Molly, I would have never found Carrie from Live Accessible and be a part of the community with you. Lintos.
Really?
And Danny Marie.
Oh, I didn't know that. So she said if it weren't for Molly Burke, she would not have found Carrie from Live Accessible and Blind Toes and all all the other blind YouTubers that are pretty active each week on here. That's awesome. And that's actually one of my points. Something that I've kind of been frustrated about, because Molly Burke, if you notice a lot of the collaborations and a lot of things that she does, it's kind of only with people that are on her plateau. You know, they're only people that are on her level of influence and growth and size and reach. And it's kind of like it feels like it's one of those things where I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine kind of things. And that's where, like I was saying earlier, I don't always get that true, authentic, altruistic drive and rationale behind some of her work because I've never really seen her do much for the underdogs. Like, I've never really seen her do any spotlights or community things like this. It would be awesome if she would host something like this. I don't know. I don't think she has, or at least I don't think she has any recently. I know she's done one of the recent videos I saw. She had a woman who was from the hearing impaired community, and they were doing kind of a collaboration. But that, again, that content creator was massive. I can't remember her name right now. I'll have to go back and look. But, you know, again, she had a huge following as well. So it was kind of like, okay, can we get anyone that's a little bit more, you know, on the smaller end that's still just really in touch with the grassroots here, that's not like able to afford all the brand names and labels of everything and any service they want, they just have to whip out their platinum and you know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, I mean, I hate to go there, but she success, with success comes that Lux life, and there's a disconnect there for me personally. It's one of the main reasons why I struggle relating to Molly is that separation of lifestyle and financial status. Again, I don't begrudge her success at all, y'all. I'm just saying we have a complete different experience of blind life, I think, in some ways because of it. And it's significant enough, but I feel like she kind of loses touch with those of us who are on that side of the fence. And I've never really seen her recognize or really shed a lot of opportunity for their perspective to be heard, their voices to be heard. And I don't mean just one person or two people. There's lots of us. I mean, like, I don't know, do a forum or something. I don't know. But I've never seen her do that. Have you guys?
11:20 p.m. My blind mom is messy kitchen. I watch Molly on occasion. I congratulate her on her success. However, I wish she would help out the smaller channels that have to do with blindness.
Right.
Busy woman, no, I understand that.
Right.
Actions available.
What I just said, so my blind mama's messy kitchen, you're totally right. I mean, you just completely stated in the live chat what I just said, that she wishes she would recognize some of the smaller channels. You're totally right.
11:25 p.m. Pikachu. My name is Pikachu, but with a V.
Pikachu. Okay. Okay.
Page 2 of 2.
Thank you. All right, so I think I'm caught up. So, my third point is this is the thing. First, I want to put a positive spin on it, y'all. So, I am so grateful that Molly Burke has had this success because I feel like the overall general public out there, we're such a minority that there are so many people out there that can go through their entire like prime of their lives and never meet anyone on the blindness spectrum. And so however, they get on YouTube or they get on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and they've probably seen some content from Molly Burke, and they have probably discovered, oh, this chick's blind, and let me discover something else about blindness. And so, in some ways, she is literally the only exposure to the blind community that they have. And I mean, I know people, I meet people all the time that say, "Oh, I've never met anyone who's blind," or "Oh, but hey, I do know Molly Burke." Which brings me to my story. I was meeting, y'all know, I just recently moved to Tennessee, and I've met a lot of new acquaintances here. It's been wonderful. But anytime I typically go somewhere new, meet new people, there always ends to be this one occurrence where someone's like, "Oh yeah, you probably know Molly Burke." And yeah, I know Molly Burke. Yeah, you're just like her, and blah blah blah. And I'll start to feel like, so in this instance, it's like that hole kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and I felt like I was being compared to Molly Burke. And y'all, like I said earlier, I don't begrudge her success. I fully respect her, but we do have complete different experiences and lives. And so when I feel like people are comparing us, it's in a way that I just can't appreciate, because something that I take pride in, something that I strive for and I work very, very hard at, is being independent and making sure that I am contributing in other as many other ways as I can to those in my lives, my loved ones in my life, that is positive, and I'm not a drain on them, and I'm giving as much as I can back. Not that she doesn't do that. It's just she, in many ways, doesn't seem to express the level of independency that I strive for and that I want to be, I guess, associated with and compared to. Also, like I said earlier, that Lux life, I mean, she makes a lot of things look easy, and she makes it look like, you know, that the blind community, like, it's the norm to have the labeled, Gucci bags and and all the, fancy stuff, and cute apartment in like the most expensive places in the world, and and I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I know so many blind people, and because it breaks my heart, because I know so many of us in the community that's like really struggling because we can't get work. We can't afford to pay for O&M training and to get the skills and the rehabilitation that we need, because number one, the state is either under budget, there's not enough people working, and so you're like waiting for months and months and months and months, and it's like they're hurting, and dealing with sight loss and trying to function in a world that is sighted, when and you have all these expectations and you're not able to do it, you're kind of set up for failure by your community. And then on top of it, you're not able to afford or to get the resources you need to gain the skills to function in that culture and society. I mean, it is a catch 22 when you then have the only person that these people are exposed to and are making all these references to and comparisons of us to. It's like that is not translated at all. So um, that is one of the reasons why it spurred me to do this discussion tonight, y'all. This is why I wanted to have this conversation, because I don't want to be compared to Molly Burke. She's her own blind woman with her own experiences, and so am I. And it's like, hey, do I know her? Yeah, great. Do I watch her content? Yeah, I do. Why don't you ask me what my experiences of blindness are? Or why don't you, like, hey, inquire about me. Don't just say, oh, Molly Burke said this and Molly Burke did that. And oh, this is how she sees. And and you look like you see like that. And I'm like, no, actually, our side is completely the opposite. I'm losing my vision from the inside out, and she lost hers from the outside in, and it ends up being, this entire massive education conversation, which is in a way a positive thing. I do my best to spin it in an education, take it as an educational opportunity. But again, I'm like, oh no, y'all, I'm not Molly Burke. I'm not like her in many ways, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It is what it is. It's just one of those things where I just don't appreciate it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that is like my hang up and my quirk. I'm sure there's many people out there that were like, oh my God, thank you so much. And that's just not me, y'all. I hope that doesn't make me like a terrible person. I don't know.
11:18
All
p.m.
right.
Pikachu. Another reason I feel Molly stays on top with the algorithm. 11:20
Um,
p.m. Page 2 of
let's see.
11:29 p.m. My blind mama's messy kitchen. I know what you're saying. I hope if I ever reach that level of success, I remember to help out the smaller channels because we've all started somewhere.
Amen. So my blind mama's messy kitchen says that she understands and that if she ever reaches that level of success, that she will definitely recognize us little YouTube channels. I appreciate that, girl. Remember me. Not that I want that level of success, but still, it's about getting representation and getting voices and perspectives out there for a true, authentic representation of the community.
11:35 p.m. My blind mom is messy kitchen. I'm so glad I jumped on here. You're so well spoken, and I thought I was the only one feeling these things.
Oh my
Action
gosh,
available.
girl, I'm so
Reach out.
glad you jumped on here too, and I'm so welcome. I'm so glad to have you tonight. And maybe we should do this together if you all want to join me for a community chat. That's what these live streams that I'm doing on my channel is all about. Because if you look at some of the other ones I've done, I have people with me. This is kind of an abnormal thing for me where it's just me. It was an impromptu thing tonight, so I didn't have time to invite anybody tonight. But this is our chance for all of us to join together. I try to do, one person or two people. And so, yeah, girl, if you want to join me in a week or two, just I'll try to reach out to you or you can reach out to me. Um,
11:35 p.m. My blind mom is messy. 11:35 p.m. The catch. I actually never got compared to Molly, but I did get swarm of haters in comparison from Lucy Edwards' channel. I got a lot of love and support from Molly community, but Lucy community it was terrible. Action
Really?
available.
Okay, I don't know if y'all can hear my voiceover at all, but I'm going to put the speaker kind of close to it so that you all can hear it.
11:35 p.m. The catch. I actually never got compared to Molly, but I did get swarm of haters in comparison from Lucy Edwards' channel. I got a lot of love and support from Molly community, but Lucy community it was terrible. Action
That
available.
is so surprising to me. And I wonder if it's like a country thing because I feel like in the UK there is a bit more hate going on there. I don't know, but I've actually experienced the opposite. Excuse me. I had a soda earlier, y'all, so I've got some burpage going on. But that's so interesting because, I do enjoy Lucy Edwards, but I do think that there's also kind of a chip on the shoulder kind of thing there too. Again, I'm not trying to knock anybody. I'm not here to judge, but as far as the communities go, I don't know. I feel like Lucy Edwards too. She's just like Molly Burke in that I haven't seen her really recognize any of the small YouTubers, and I haven't really seen her represent and give a spotlight or a leg up or any kind of opportunity to others in the blind community to shine and get their voices and perspectives out there too. And I honestly, guys, I think if you have that level of success, and Lucy Edwards is still quite not on the level that Molly Burke is. I think she'll get there maybe, but she's not there yet. And but I feel like if you get that massive, I mean, Molly, I think she's like close to 5 million or something like that. Um, but I think you kind of have a responsibility. Like if you're going to say, she makes all the correct disclaimers. I understand that. Like she says, guys, this is just my experience. These are just my opinions on blindness, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, it, it needs to go one step further. If you're going to be that successful, I think you should do your best to interview and to host and to give the other voices in the community a chance to be heard. Um,
11:35 p.m. The catch. I actually never got compared to Molly, but I did get swarm of haters in comparison from
okay.
Lucy Edwards' channel.
So I
I
think
got a lot of
I'm
love
up
and
to
support from Molly
date
community, but Lucy
on
community it was
the
terrible.
chat.
Action available.
So, well, I really think that this has been a really great conversation, you guys. And if this is something that you feel like you have more to say and more thoughts, please put it in the comment section. I think this was an excellent conversation, and I really appreciate you all joining me tonight. It's just going to be a short, brief one. I'm going to wrap it up real quick. Don't leave yet, y'all, because in the description box, I'm going to try to go back and start adding chapters to these videos and live chats. So if in the future you ever miss a live chat, make sure you check out the description box and look for chapters, and that way you can really kind of bounce around and find the sections that you can really connect with and relate to. That way, the content is really, kind of a little more organized because y'all know these live streams, we all kind of bounce around a bit and, oh, I forgot to say this, or oh, that's what I meant earlier, and yada, yada, yada. It's kind of why in some ways, I really like the editing process because I am a bit scatterbrained and it comes out a lot more in the live streams than it does like my edited traditional like uploads. Speaking of y'all, you will see a bit little less content being uploaded in the next month or two because it's the summer hustle, y'all, and family time is in full swing. My kids are extremely demanding right now, so it is taking up a lot of my time, hence why I'm up to midnight doing this tonight. So I am just going to give you all that forewarning right there, but please don't hesitate to just check out some of the older videos. I don't know, and hit the thumbs up, y'all, to help the algorithm. And that's it for me, y'all. If you, um, I don't know. I'm sorry. See again, scatterbrain. I'm tired. If y'all want to join me on a future community chat, please just send me a tweet message. I am on Twitter, and send me a DM, a direct message on Instagram, or you can also find me on Facebook Messenger. I am not always on all three all the time, but I do try to check in all three of those from time to time to see if anybody wants to join me on a community chat. So that's it, guys. I will catch y'all hopefully another time. Bye.